to you.
Okay, about 21 years ago, Ricky James Hickey met a woman in the Philippines named Alma Basas Cascas, and before they got married, they conceived my sister Anna Marie Hickey. She's 21, and my dad had a previous marriage. He had 2 sons, Randall Hickey and Christopher Hickey. I don't remember their middle names, so I don't see them that much. And I was born January 11th, 1994 in San Diego, California. And when I was 2, we moved to Indiana. And then when I was 3, we moved to Wildomar, California. And there, when I was 8, my dad decided to wake me up and bring me to his bedroom, where he proceeded to make me watch him beat my mom for about an hour until my older brother called the cops. And then he went to court and had to stay in this penitentiary. My mom decided to split with him, but my mom, for some reason after he got out, my dad did this whole apology and we got back together, which in my opinion was a terrible idea. And so whenever we would get in fights a lot. And then in 2005 we moved here, which was a big change for me because the elementary school I went to there had about a little bit over 1,000 people, and Wynn had, I don't know, 100 maybe, a little more. And I've grown up here, so this is my introduction speech. Mark Anthony Hickey are my initials, and those 2 people in that picture with me are the 2 best people on this planet ever. It is Taylor James Raymond and Jacob Adam Mitchell Davis. And that quote is from The Hangover. Next. That is my woman. That is Marilyn Monroe. I don't care what anybody says. She's the hottest woman to ever walk this planet. And I don't know, she's just a great woman. Next. That is the man. That is Frank Sinatra. He played in the 1940s. He's part of the Rat Pack. And yeah, cue that song. It should load. The song is called That Song. It's a powerful song.
I don't think you got the speakers plugged in, bud.
Where? The actual song with the original. Let's see if it'll play louder now.
That's
Greatest song
right.
ever.
That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June. I said that's life.
The reason that song is so great to me was because after my dad did the whole business when I was 8, my grandma called me, and she told me to listen to, she sent me a record in the mail, like an actual record, and she told me to play it on the machine that plays records.
A record player?
Record player. I thought there was a name for it. But I played
Victrola.
it, and I've been listening to Frank Sinatra since I was 8. He's a great man, and he gets me through a lot, just like Taylor and Jake do. Thanks. The 3 greatest things is friends and my mom, because my mom is always there for me. Music has played a big part in my life since I was, 6 years old. I've been listening to music all the time. When I'm having really, really hard times, and sometimes I can't even talk to my friends, I'll put in headphones and I'll just listen to music and sit down and won't move for hours. And then ties. I've worn ties since 8th grade. I wear them all the time. This tie isn't mine. It's Aaron Cook's. Talk about him later. Next. That's my mommy. She is a great woman. She is 45, and that's our dog. That was our dog Snickers. He didn't die. She didn't die. But about 3 weeks ago, about a month ago, my mom wanted to go out with some lady friends of hers, like a ladies' night. But my dad, for some reason, was even really religious, and he told her he wouldn't allow that sluttish behavior, and if she was gonna go, stay out. So I told him I was going with her, and he was getting really loud and really in her face. And I don't like domestic abuse at all. It really bugs me. So I told him if he touched her, what I said was really inappropriate, but next. Those are my friends. That picture right there is at homecoming. That's Taylor and Jake. That's me. That's
Taylor looks like Mick Jagger.
Taylor has huge lips, and
He does there.
Back in 8th grade, he used to have huge ears, make him kind of look like a monkey sometimes. But he's still a good-looking dude. That's Bailey. I started talking to her this year, and we've gotten really close this year. That's Becca. I can talk to her. I started talking to her just last trimester, and I can talk to her just about anything. Like any of my problems, I can talk to her because a lot of things she can relate to. So it's really easy for me to talk to her. That picture on the right is me and Josh Bishop.
I remember it clearly.
That picture got me in trouble. But
You got you in trouble. The
I got
picture
me in
had nothing
trouble.
to do with it.
But Josh is a really good friend of mine, and I don't know, he's just really nice, and he's bought me lunch a couple times. That up there, you can't really read it, but music plays a big part of my life, and I like to write songs. And it's the first song I ever wrote, and I wrote it for a friend who was having really hard problems in her life, and wrote it in 8th grade, and it was the first song I wrote, I guess. The top right, that's Anna. I could talk to her a lot about my problems, like with problems with a certain friend that's mutual. And she's really easy to talk to. In the middle, that is John Adams. He went here a couple of years ago. He is one of the funniest guys I know. And last year at Maple Syrup Festival, we were hanging out by the baseball fields, and he climbed over the fence, took his pants off, just started running around the baseball field.
Was anybody there? Or?
Well, there was a couple of people there.
It wasn't a game going on.
No, it was Maple Syrup Festival, the day of Bloody Night. Then he put him back on and just acted like he can hit on anyone he wants. We were walking down Main Street in Shepherd. There's these two old ladies walking by. And he goes...
Can you give us an age range, please?
Maybe 70 years old.
Okay.
They were old. And he looks at one dead in the eyes and he says, "It's a beautiful day out, isn't it?" And she says, "Yes." He's like, "But it's not as beautiful as you are." He's a great guy. He's awesome. At the top, the kid sitting on the left, it's Aaron Cook. He's like my little brother. Like my two older brothers, they really aren't in my life that much. And my sister, we have a lot of problems. We don't really talk. So Aaron's like one of the closest things I have to family. And when my parents split up, his mom and dad took me and my mom in for a while, for a couple of weeks, and we moved to an apartment in Mount Pleasant, but it's too far away for my mom to take, because she works 10 to 2 in the morning, nights, graveyard shift. So I stay at his house Monday through Friday, and he's like a little brother to me. I pick on him, but if I were to mess with him, I'd be behind his back in a heartbeat, because he's like a brother to me. And that picture with the heart on it, that is the coolest kid I've ever met. That's Aaron's little brother. His name's Phil Jack. He's called JJ. He's at an arcade there, and he's like a reality check for me, cause he's the funniest kid. No matter what the problem is, he'll just I was playing Aaron's guitar one time, and he picks up his Guitar Hero controller and decides to play right beside me. And not having any siblings, he calls me Kuya Mark. And in Tagalog, which is one of the main languages in the Philippines, it's respect for older brother. So that means a lot to me when he calls me that, because I don't know, I haven't really been respected by a lot of my family other than my mom and my grandma. You can hit next one. A major down in my life was last year when me and Jordan Brown decided to drink in school.
I remember.
And Jordan got a little bit drunk and caught, and we got suspended for 10 days. But it taught me a lot, and ever since, I actually struggled with drinking. I was diagnosed with alcoholism, and I went through the classes the whole day. I was too young to go to AA, but I went through actual counseling. And I don't drink anymore because drinking is really bad for you. And it's really bad when you're young. But Jordan's still a good guy. He's a good friend of mine. Music, I don't know why it's so small, but music is also a big part of my life. What are just some of the bands I listen to? I listen to a lot of different types. I listen to everything but country. Classical, rock, I listen to rap. Listen to probably the most hated musical genre, which is screamo, as some people like to call it. But it's music keeps me in check. And I don't know why people say screamo music is so angry. It calms me down. And I have a song I want to play. Actually, I couldn't put it in the thing, but it's loaded on YouTube.
What have you got to do?
The line in it is kind of describes my past life. This is it. She didn't really hear him. He said, I skipped depression class, sorry for my absence. Escaped the teenage life, it's too average. And I'm so far away from being average. You can call me anything you want. You can call me stupid, you can call me cool, you can call me fat, and you can call me lovable. But the one thing I do not respect being called at all is average. Because when I'm average, if you call me average, that makes me just like everyone else, and I don't want to be like that. And with I suffered from severe manic depression, and they tried putting me on pills, and I went through counseling, that didn't really help. But my friends did, Taylor and Jake, they really kept me in check. And they kept me away from suicidal thoughts I had a long time ago. And last but not least, if you couldn't tell, I really, really, really love ties. I like ties, they keep me, they keep me different from everyone else. Frank Sinatra wore a lot of ties all the time, and there's a tie with Marilyn Monroe on it. It's like putting two of the greatest things together. And I've been wearing them since 8th grade, but I didn't really know why. Until a couple weeks ago, I was watching the movie Footloose. And first time I saw it was in 8th grade. I saw the movie Footloose. And in the movie, one of the main reasons Kevin Bacon gets picked on in his old school because he wore ties. And then it kind of clicked. It's like, oh, Kevin Bacon wore ties, and Kevin Bacon's an awesome dude. Nice. And for the future, that cut off, but for the future, I'm going to Mount Pleasant next year because my mom can't keep on taking me to Aaron's house, and so I'm going to Mount Pleasant for my senior year. It's going to be really hard because I'm going to be away from mostly important people in my life, but it's easier for my mom because it'll be easier on gas, because Aaron lives clear out on M20 about past the casino, and gas is really expensive. So I got to go to Mount Pleasant next year, but I won't mind because I know a couple people in Mount Pleasant. And prom. Taylor James Brandon is taking me to homecoming here and I am taking him as my date to Mount Pleasant's prom. Because he is my best friend, and I wouldn't do it with anyone else. Prom. I wouldn't be prom with anyone. And as far as college and God goes, I don't really know what I honestly don't know what I want to do. I've always liked journalism and music, so I kind of want to do something with journalism and music. I don't really know what I want to do for college because I'm not the smartest guy when it comes to grades. So I don't know what I'm going to do for that. Next. I'm selfish, impatient, a little insecure. I make mistakes. I'm out of control and at times hard to handle. Well, you can't handle me at my worst, then you sure as hell don't deserve me at my best. And that was said by the greatest woman ever, Marilyn Monroe. And I am Mark Anthony Hickey, and that is my life.
Well done.